this Mark's Reviews and Tutorials video. We're back on the Accidental one here and just getting all the things ready before it goes in for its roadworthy. It's going for its roadworthy Friday, so we're out of time now. The last thing we need to deal with is the roof liner. Have a look at that saggy roof liner. Now, I've looked online at all sorts of, you can put these really super duper ugly little twisty pins in, and there's no doubt that would get you out of trouble if you didn't care. There's also stuff about trying to spray adhesive up there, but they were little patches when you're patching areas. This is the whole thing. Have a look at it rippling out through the back. The whole roof liner has dropped. So I'm going to take the whole thing out because it is just a matter of, there's a fair bit of work in this center pillar, but apart from that, it's all just getting these trims off and so forth. I'll show you all the steps, show you the way around, and we'll get that headliner. We'll take the whole board out. That's not just the material up there. There's a headliner board, but through the light, through the airbag clips on the A pillar here and the B pillar here, and we're going to pull this whole thing out. And a few tools to get us going here. A trim removal tool set. These sort of things, just have them if you're going to be working on your car. They make it so easy to get panel pieces off, like these little airbag things that got to be flicked off. Up here when we take the sun visors off, you see the little clip here that needs to be clipped off so you can get to the screw. These ones here are accessible. Whenever you're getting through the screws and things like that, it's just easier if you've got the trim removal tool to flick them off. I'm going to use a drill. Now again, if you're going to use a power drill, it's very important you get one with a clutch so you can adjust how hard it's turning and just keep it down when you're pulling stuff off like this. And you're going to need a light inside the car. You're going to be able to see where you're going. So get those few simple tools, and we're going to start with the two front sun visors. Okay, so this car is a BMW, so of course all the screws got to be Torx. That's these guys here. I'll put links in the description through to all the different tools, stuff that I recommend. But if you're working on a BMW, you're going to need Torx. These are driver bits that go into a drill, but also put some links through to some Allen key sets and things like that that you can use as well. But all BMWs, all models, have got a lot more modern than this 2005 I'm working on today, but you need these. Not hard. One little tip when you're working on something like this, keep all of your screws and your bits together. Put like this sun visor put down on the floor on this side, that sun visor down there, that handle down there. Just rather than chucking them all in a pile and have to work it out, it's easier just to put them down where you are. So the trim removal tool, you'll see there it's got that little slot in it. That's your tell for where the heck you go. Trim removal tool up and under, and boom, there's your screw. That one's a normal Phillips head. Again, on the handles, once you turn them down, trim removal tool in there to pop that open like that. And again, that one's a Torx. So it'll be the same for all the four handles all the way around. Okay, I know I'm going to be asked all the way around. So this is your blind holder. That's what this here is for. That's T20. The front one's a T20. The sun visor was T20. All the Torx, even these guys under here, T20. Okay, on the A pillar, it's a matter of getting this out. This was super tight on mine. You can see the plastic bit there that slots in between those bits of metal, and the trim removal tool couldn't get it. I had to get a little thin screwdriver, this little guy here, and I was able to get it out with that, but it was really tight and difficult. And that reveals the screw to get that out on the A pillar. So once that screw's out, and it's a big chunky screw, you just get your trim removal tool down here, and as you can see, that comes out and it will lift up towards you. Out and up. There we go. That's out. And there is your airbag. Don't go banging around on that. So coming back to this center light piece here, it needs to be released from the front. There's two metal clips at the front you need to release and pull down, and this is just sort of like underneath with plastic clips. So release it at the front, pull it down, and it'll drop forward. Then you'll be able to disconnect the wires. Okay, so now I have this out. As I said, at the back here, it's just clipping in by sliding into place, and at the front you have these two metal clips. Mine was bent up and over the top, so it's really hard to get off, but it should just be like that. So if you can get your tool up, it will clip out. So pull it down at the front, but it's going onto a metal edge, as you can see here. So it's pretty tight. Two clips at the front. It just slides out like that at the back, And yeah, I'm going to unplug. There's 3 plugs in there. I'm going to unplug the 3 plugs so I can drop this out of the way. Then we'll be able to get the headliner in and out. No doubt you could poke it up and through, but I don't want to put huge strain on these wires or anything like that, so I'm going to knock those. Okay, so now we're lifting this panel up here, which really is just a matter of getting in and under. The clips that go through into the floor are vertical, straight down. So you can get your trim removal tool, one with a hole. There are 4 pegs, but by rights, you just got to pull it up and then just get your fingers as far under as you can and then lift up. Now this one, like often happens, it's just actually come out of the clip. The clip itself hasn't come out. So we can then pull them back out and put them back into the slot in order to get this back down again. But we've got to get this out. Weird for the roof lining, but you've got to get this out so that you can get this out so that you can undo this to get the roof lining out. You have to start down at the bottom and work your way up. This is next, and then up to the roof lining. And then once you've got that one off, you then peel this back. It just, again, comes straight back. Peeling back, that'll get you access, and then we're going to be able to get to these couple of pins that are there. So that is the B pillar panel. As you can see, it's basically a big clip here and here. This is down on the bottom, and then your clips up the top there. This is what it looks like when she's out. This is definitely how you access your seat belt. These pins here, you best start off with a screwdriver, just work in to get them to lift up a little bit, and then once they're up, you get a trim removal tool and you can slide that then on there. So excuse the rain hitting the garage door out there, but the way these little pins work, they're in like that, and then once they get into place, the centerpiece pushes through, opening that up, making it tight. So you've got to pull the centerpiece back, just a screwdriver to start with to get it back, and then hook him like that. So you hook it in the wedge head and pull it, and then the whole assembly will come out. There's 2 of those to come out, and rock the seat back too so it's out of the way. Then this panel will come off and drop down, and we'll have that access to the headliner. All right, those 2 have come out. This now will shimmy out of those rubbers. That can just slide down the seat belt out of the way. And here we go, we have access to the headliner. This is just now going to come out of these rubbers like that. And the same over that rear rubber. And then we'll be able to slide that straight out. Okay, so back onto the C-pillar. We're almost there. It's all loose up to the front. We've got 1 C-pillar off here and 1 here to go. All we do is lever this little airbag off. It's the same as the A-pillar. And then there's a torque screw underneath there. And we take this out, and then this just pries forward. Click out all the way along, particularly under the rubber down the back there. And then lift it out like that. And that now, we've just got 1 clip to go. This here is the clip that was up in the roof. So trim removal tool, get the fork bit, go under there, pull it down, and then the plug comes down, and then that drops that out. And then it's just a matter of prying it out from the rubbers, and then we'll be able to pull it out through the back. As it turns out, you do have to unplug all of these out of the back of that front module. It's going to put too much weight on the wires coming out of the mirror, and you can see here the loom is actually attached to the roof lining, that one there. All these can stay as they are, but the roof lining now is free to come out. The plugs are interesting. A screwdriver on the top of them presses the button down, and then you can lever them to pop them out. And they're all very simple once you knew how to do it. Screwdriver on top, lever it, and they all just came straight out. There's 1 up the top there, all the rest along the back. So then just rock your seats forward. As you can see, we're almost out. Got some gluing of felt as well as to do with this roof lining that's falling off. But rock your seats forward, and then she will slip straight out.